If you struggle to keep your house clean, keep up with the tidy, keep up with the mess, then this episode is going to blow your mind. I know that it feels like an uphill battle. As soon as you put everything away, you turn around and it is all right there back again. But guess what? It doesn't have to be like that. And there are some really simple things that you can put in place this year in 2025 in order to keep your house tidy and clean. Let's jump into today's episode. I'm Chelsi Jo, and I help women who are juggling home and business put systems in place so that they can scale their income and their time both. I'm really excited that you're here and that you're going to hang out with me in this video because I'm sharing my secrets, what I've done for the last 7 years to juggle my business and to keep my house tidy. I am hardcore into making sure that my house is pretty well kept, that it's minimal enough for me to not feel overwhelmed, that it's clean, not just things are put away, but like that it's not super dusty and grody and dirty. Yes, I've had house cleaners. No, I haven't had house cleaners. I've been all over the map with it. Have 100% done it myself. I've learned to get my kids involved. Like we're talking about all of it today. So if you're excited to learn some tips and tricks, stick around. You definitely are not alone if the stress and the clutter in your house makes you feel super overwhelmed. I've definitely been there. And the one thing that I want you to walk away knowing in this episode is that the clutter and the stress can be maintained without massive to-do lists. And you also don't have to have hours and hours and hours and hours to do it all. I've tried all of the other really complex lists that have major checklists of everything that you're supposed to do. And as soon as you fall off the bandwagon, you feel like you can't keep up. And I honestly, myself, don't even want to tackle cleaning when it's a million things to do. I don't have enough time to do that. And you don't either. Studies actually show that whenever you have a ton of clutter in your house and you have mess and you're trying to work with stuff all over the place and on top of you, that it increases your stress and reduces your productivity. So it's a really, really great thing for us to be working on this in the new year. Whether or not you've tried to do this in the past or not, doesn't matter. We're actually going to make it happen. So that's why I am breaking down the 4 key strategies that are going to be able to help you keep your home clean and tidy in 2025. I want to clarify the difference between a tidy house and a clean house. So we're going to talk about 2 different things. This isn't just how to deep clean your house, because honestly, you can't deep clean your house if you have messes everywhere. That is not possible. So if you're not tidy, you can't clean. Right? If you've ever had a house cleaner, which I have them come from time to time, if I got super backed up, that wasn't always something that I could afford or even wanted in my home. And when I have had a cleaner come and I've experienced that, it's like, oh my gosh, we have so much to tidy before we can even clean. No wonder I don't ever have the time to clean my house because it's not tidy. So what's the difference? It's really important that you have a clean surface to be able to clean. So if you have a ton of dishes, if you have a ton of stuff on your kitchen table, you're not actually going to be able to clean it, okay? So we don't need to dig into that any further, but we are going to talk about how you can keep it clean and tidy, both of those things this year with these 4 key strategies. So strategy number 1 is to remove your clutter. Obviously, we were going to talk about this. I have clutter everywhere right now, like literally everywhere from Christmas. Christmas just exploded all over the house, and we don't have places for them yet. We're going to have to find a place for it. But even without Christmas, you maybe went into the holidays with just stuff. Maybe you come from a family of just a lot of clutter. Maybe your desktop is cluttered. Maybe your office is cluttered. Maybe your kid's bedroom. Maybe every nook and cranny of your house is cluttered. It's okay. It doesn't have to be this huge uphill battle to remove clutter. Here's one really important thing in this year that I want you to focus on when it comes to clutter. And I get this principle from the Montessori method. So I want you to always leave your space better than the way that you found it. So right now I'm sitting in my office and there's stuff all over in here. So before I'm done today, I'm going to leave this space better than I found it. And something as simple as like these 2 things are sitting here, and this, I don't ever use this anymore, really. And it's actually, honestly, it's foot cream. It doesn't belong in my office. Like I can use it for my hands, but it's supposed to be on my nightstand and in my dresser drawer so I can pop this on my feet whenever I go to bed at night. It doesn't belong in here. That's really simple. I'm going to remove it and I'm going to put it away. Leaving a space better than you found it just means I'm committed whenever I cook a meal to leave the kitchen better than the way that I found it. You don't have to do this huge, massive purging, which is fun. And I do a big escape challenge. I help people escape their clutter and live mess free twice a year, every single year. It's so fun. I help my students do it. I do it in my own life. And decluttering is really important. Grab a big trash bag, throw everything in it, fill it up, and challenge yourself to do that in your bedroom. Take 5 minutes, set a timer. I bet you could get rid of a lot of things in 5 minutes. You know how quickly you can fill up a shopping cart? You can fill up a trash bag that fast too. But something even more simple than that is just to encourage yourself every single time you leave a space, or even when you enter it, be thinking of, oh, whenever I'm done in the kids' bedroom, whenever I'm done in the bathroom, when I'm done doing my hair or putting my makeup on or taking a shower, can you tidy up the bottles? When you're in the shower, can you make sure that the 3 empty shampoo bottles that are all like a quarter of the way full, get combined, right? That is something very, very simple that if you practice this over and over and over again, and you build that in as your habit, you are truly going to start to see the clutter in your space in 2025 just naturally reduce itself. Key strategy number 2 is to build tidy cues into your day. You've not heard about this on the internet anywhere else because I invented tidy cues. It's what I do every single day in my natural way of living. And I also put them in my paper planner. It's part of my home management system. It's what I teach my kids. It's also an extension of what we just talked about. So I'm not giving you a whole brand new thing that you have to learn how to do. It's just making this a little bit more formal. So tidy cues are a cue when you transition from one of the 5 time blocks that I teach, which if you don't know about my 5 time blocking method, get it right here. You can get a free download from me to learn how to manage your time using 5 time blocks that every single person should absolutely be using. But enough on that. You can get more on that inside of my free workbook. Here's what you need to know. If you are already using my 5 time blocks or any kind of time blocking method, when you are done, I want you to make sure that you leave a buffer of about 5 to 15 minutes at the end of your time block that says tidy cue. So the number one most impactful place that you can put this is in the kitchen. So if you really want to have dinner on the table at 5 o'clock, I want you to aim to have dinner on the table at 4:50. Or if you really want to be done with dinner altogether at 6:30, I want you to aim to have dinner done at 6:15, meaning you're leaving 15 minutes for a tidy cue at the very, very end. Same thing for getting ready in the morning. At the very end of the morning routine block, I don't want to push myself all the way up to the time when my kids get up, because then guess what? My curling iron, the clothes that I didn't want to wear, my makeup brushes, whatever, stuff is still left out, or I didn't make my bed or whatever, because there wasn't enough time to tidy up my space and leave it better than the way I found it. But the principle here is just to ensure that you have a big star that says tidy cue to remind yourself at the end of every major block of your day that you're going to tidy up the space that you're in. If you have little kids, this is absolutely vital. If you have kids at home, homeschooling them, absolutely vital. We have one kiddo that's here all day. Me and my husband both work from home. Like, we're all here. And so it's really important that we are all always picking up after ourselves. With little kids, and when my kids were much younger, I would ensure, and it happened way more frequently than every time block when they were little, I made sure that when we got done playing with the blocks, that we picked up the blocks before we went on to the next activity, and we would rotate spaces, and we would ensure that we cleaned up this space before we moved to the next space. And I was pretty methodical about it with them. And now it's not even something that they think about. I don't have to ask my kids to pick up when they're done with something. I just walked out there and heard them 2 seconds ago talking about, oh yeah, you want to do this next thing? And the 12-year-old was telling a 7-year-old, okay, pick up, we're going to do this next thing. And it's just like a normal thing that you and your kids will start to learn how to do as long as you set this up and establish this in your home management system in 2025. Key strategy number 3 is also going to let the cat out of the bag. I've talked about this strategy on the podcast so many times, but I'm actually bringing it to YouTube here because I just feel like bearing it all and telling you that when it comes to actually getting down into like the nooks and crannies of your house, I have literally let go of 6 different house cleaners because it's not that complicated. And I know that you have to have time to do this. If you're working full time, and your schedule's really tight, I understand that it can be hard. But even then, I'm about to show you how this year you're going to be able to keep your house clean every month, every week. First of all, I use a system called zone cleaning. I created it. I used it to be able to help me keep my house clean. I love a clean house. I actually can't get anything done unless my house is clean. I literally can't function. I can't cook a meal in a dirty kitchen. Like, it's not happening. And I can't do anything if it's dirty, right? So here inside of key strategy number 3, we're going to break this down into 2 things. Okay. So the first is to make sure that you understand zone cleaning. Really straightforward and simply put, you don't need very long checklists like fly girl cleaning and all of the other massive checklists. They are not important. They are not helpful at all. If you have an absorbent amount of time, somebody give me a like, hit me a like. If you have not enough time to clean your house, and even if you did, is that really what you want to do with your time? I don't think so. It's definitely not what I want to do with my time. Sometimes I actually really enjoy cleaning my house, you guys. It's like, I like zone out and I love nurturing my family that way. I love caring for this beautiful gift that I was blessed with, which is this amazing house. And like, what a great way to show gratitude by taking care of your home. I get it. But like, honestly, I'd rather like take a walk around a pond with a hot coffee with my husband, you know? So here's the deal. You're going to break your house into zones. And these zones are what you're going to focus on every single week. Okay. You don't need to overcomplicate cleaning. Truth be told, the bare minimum is better than what you're probably doing right now. And if you're doing more than the bare minimum, then great, we can add on to that. But let's just get consistent with the bare minimum, shall we? What does this actually look like? There are 4 weeks every month. Sometimes there's a 5th month. So we're going to go with 4 weeks of the month, and we're going to break down your entire house into 4 zones. Depending on what your house looks like, you might want to map this out. This is really fun to do with the kids or your spouse or alone. It's really fun to do alone too. I like to do things alone. You know, when you have kids that are just like around all the time, sometimes it's fun to like put these plans in place by yourself. But truthfully, you're just going to look at what are the main spaces that you like to clean together. So if you have a great room, for me, first floor is one zone. It used to be a little bit different than that. Bedrooms, all one zone. You're going to clean one zone every week. What does this mean? Well, you can put your bedding in one zone. You only change your sheets once a month. Yeah, sometimes twice a month. Sometimes not. How often are you changing your sheets? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to know. Some people are hard on it every week. That's amazing. But forever, when I was nursing little babies, like, no, changing the sheets was not it. It wasn't happening. So then I was like, okay, if I could do it once a month, we would be winning at life. So now that's part of the zone. Bedrooms, bathrooms are another zone. Kitchen, living room, everything downstairs. That's the 3rd one. Then on your 4th one, depending on, again, how your house is set up, you can add anything else in that 4th zone. But for a very long time, we did kitchen and living room as one zone. We did bedding its own zone. We did bathrooms its own zone and bedrooms their own zone. In our new house, it's honestly split upper and lower. We have 2 zones, downstairs, upstairs. And we're choosing to do that because the whole family pitches in, and then we get to do it twice a month. So you can always double up if you're like, look, I don't really just want to deep clean. We're talking about deep cleaning. We're not talking about grabbing the spray and the wipe to make sure that our surfaces are clean. Had a lot of boy moms say, look, you're a girl mom and you don't understand what toilets look like. First of all, your boys know how to pull out a sanitary wipe and wipe their space, don't they? They absolutely do. And my girls also know how to wipe the toothpaste and the grime out. I'm talking about like the real deep cleaning, baseboards, all the tile, all the rugs, all the mirrors, bathrooms, showers, like all that kind of stuff to like really get in and clean it. That for us is happening once a month. Well, at some point I was like, kind of want it to happen twice a month. So every weekend we put zone 1, zone 2, zone 1, zone 2, and now we're doubling up on it. And that feels really good. And also we've played around with everybody does all zones. 2 people take the upstairs, 2 people take the downstairs, and the whole house gets cleaned twice a month. That feels really cool too. The point of me sharing this is we've broken our house into different zones to test what works for us in different seasons many different times. There are some months when it's super busy and I'm like, look, what do you want to do? You want to budget for a house cleaner this month? Cool. And we don't even have that on the weekends. And that is how you're going to be able to take what you're doing right now of struggling to keep your house clean, not tidy, but actually clean down into the nook and crannies. And let me tell you, even whenever we go about doing the bedrooms, that includes the air vents. The dirty air vents are getting dusted with like this long toolkit that I got to be able to dust high spaces. These little things are really, really important, which is what we're going to talk about in this very last key element to being able to clean your home. So let's jump into this key strategy. Number 4, it is my favorite one because I like really functional and pretty things. And right now we're going to talk about simplifying your cleaning supplies. So your cleaning supplies, I'm going to talk about it a little bit, and then I'm actually going to like bust it out and I'm going to show you because I don't want to just talk about it. I want to actually show you what all these things are. It took me forever to figure out what I actually needed in my house. And then when I finally like invested in a couple tools, cleaning my house is so stinking simple now. I've also invested in things that were totally unnecessary and I didn't need them. So I think it's important to talk about. You want to have the fewest amount of cleaning supplies possible, number 1. Number 2, you want to keep them all in a caddy that is really easy for you to grab and go. And number 3, I think it's really important that the products that you're choosing are chemical free. Yes, you might not know this about me already, but I am super duper crunchy mom, like kind of obnoxious and makes everyone's eye twitch around here. But hey, I'm cool with it. You can start wherever you want to start to be able to make sure that the chemicals that you're using in your house are actually helping your family and not hindering them. And so, truth be told, I'm actually saving a lot of money by using bulk supplies. And let me just dive right in and show you exactly what my supplies are that I use to clean my house. Okay, I'm going to show you everything that's in my cleaning tote. So this is literally all I use to clean my entire house, and it's all you need as well. So here's the 2 main pieces. You need an all-purpose spray. This is made from a concentrate, and an all-purpose scrub. This is also made from a concentrate, and I'll show you the concentrate that I use. You can have these pre-made if you want by whatever concentrate you want, but I get this one. It's from doTERRA, and this is a cleaning concentrate. If you remember Pine Sol, maybe you're still using it. This is completely 100% safe, effective, natural, cleans everything incredibly well. You just put a cap full of that inside of a glass spray bottle with water. And this is actually baking soda with 2 capfuls of this and some just white vinegar, distilled vinegar. And this turns into a paste. And I keep one of those in my caddy, and I also keep one underneath my sink. And so if you can see, you use this when you would use something like Comet, right? And so this one right now is a little bit dried out, but it's actually exactly how I like it. Okay, so these are the only 2 things that I use to clean my entire house, is all-purpose spray and all-purpose scrub. Let me show you the other absolute non-negotiables that you should have in a cleaning caddy for everything that you're cleaning in your house. This is a 3-pack that I get at Target. You can probably get them on Amazon, but I love them because they're super cheap there. This is a window cleaner. So you will see that I don't have Windex anywhere. So this cloth, all-purpose spray or just water, and this cloth will clean any glass or mirror with 0 streaks. You wash it, you reuse it over and over and over and over again. This thing is magical. This is like a deep scrubber microfiber cloth. We don't use these as much. I use this one a little bit more, but this is really, really good for cleaning with. This is great for drying with. Both of them, super awesome to have. I use these instead of paper towels. The other option are these. You can get these at Walmart, online. This is, they have some really fancy name brand ones. This is just one from like Target or Walmart. And this is a reusable paper towel. So it's kind of like a sponge. You can reuse this many times. You can also wash these instead of blowing through paper towels. This is all I use. I got a 2-pack of this for a 2,000 square foot house. And with that, it cleans my entire house in one sitting. So I also have one sponge that is really porous and like super rough on one side. Pumice stone is a requirement. Obviously, I love this little scrubber brush. This is the Everspring brand. These are also the Everspring brand from Target. I love these so much. And then a toilet scrubber, which this is actually a bottle brush. I prefer them for scrubbing toilets, and I keep it in a cup. That is all I have in my cleaning caddy. Now let's talk about dusting really quick, because I did not invest in this for a really long time, and I think it's really important. If you have blinds like that you need to clean, I highly suggest getting these. I got all this in a kit on Amazon for like $12. It was super cheap. It comes with an extension, so this way I can clean all of my air vents, I can clean my ceiling fans, and then it comes with all of these different tools that you can screw in. This one goes underneath the fridge, underneath the couch. This one does pretty much anything. This is the one that we use for our ceiling fans. It's also really cool because it bends and it can go on your blades. Can also do your blinds. It does the tops of our bookshelves. It does everything. And so it extends really, really far, which is super fun. So this is the extent of my caddy. It's always in here. I take it with me room by room by room by room. That's all you need. If you want links to any of this stuff, check down in the comments and I will hook you up. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy that you stuck through all of that with me. As a quick little recap, today we talked about removing the clutter, building in tidy cues into your schedule and your time blocks for the day, zone cleaning, and ensuring that you are simplifying your cleaning supplies. By focusing on these 4 key strategies, I promise you in 2025, you are going to be able to keep your house clean and tidy. And won't that feel absolutely amazing? Because you're actually going to be able to enjoy the house that you're living in and working in and playing in and laughing in and building relationships in. And that really is the point. So if you found this helpful, if you're going to put any of these strategies in place, or if you have questions at all, please make sure that you drop it down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. We will be talking all about zone cleaning and escaping and schedules and time blocks and tidy cues and all the things in 2025. Not to mention making sure that your business is tidy and operating well also. So here's the last thing that I really want to share with you. If you are excited and really curious about how you can work with me and join a community of women who are struggling but have very big goals in 2025 to be able to balance their home and their business without sacrificing their self or their family, then I want you to come hang out with me and join me inside of my 12-month group coaching program. We can start the new year together. You can also come in at any time. Head over to chelseajo.co/systemize to scale to get more details on how me and you can work together to set up your zone cleaning, your time blocks, your tidy cues, organize your business, set your goals, and make sure that you can scale your income by being consistent both in home and business this year.